Hello everyone, welcome back to This Week in Esports and Gaming, the show where we talk about the latest and greatest in business happenings for gaming, esports, and creator news. I'm your host Mark Kai. We're here for the second week of July 2023. I'm in the Bay Area now, no longer in Los Angeles. So if you're in the Bay Area and you want to meet up, let me know. But either way, let's dive right into the news. Lots to cover this week. Our first top 3 story, Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. There have been updates to this acquisition deal. There's lots have happened, so I'm just going to dive into what has actually happened. Earlier this week, the U.S. District Court Judge Jacqueline Scott Corley denied the FTC's request for a preliminary injunction to stop Microsoft from acquiring Activision Blizzard. The judge essentially said that the FTC hasn't shown that the merged company will probably pull Call of Duty from Sony's PlayStation or that its ownership of Activision content will actually substantially decrease competition in the video game library subscription in the cloud gaming markets. This means that the injunction will dissolve on July 14th, which it already has, with the deal deadline of July 18th quickly approaching. And for reference, if the deal doesn't go through by July 18th, Microsoft will pay Activision Blizzard a $3 billion breakup fee. After this happened, the FTC actually appealed the court ruling, which Microsoft President Brad Smith said that he's actually disappointed that the FTC continues with a demonstrably weak case. An Activision Blizzard spokesperson said that they are confident the U.S. will remain among the 39 countries where the merger can close, given Judge Corley wrote that the FTC has not identified a single document which contradicts Microsoft's publicly stated commitment to make Call of Duty available on PlayStation and Nintendo Switch. With this, the attention actually turned to the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, or the CMA, where Microsoft actually appealed the UK's decision to block the deal. With many events happening, the CMA actually pushed back on the final date of their decision on whether to block the deal. This date is now August 29th, and since Microsoft submitted an updated, detailed, and complex proposal with these changes, the CMA said that there wasn't enough time to actually go through and consider Microsoft's submission thoroughly, so they gave an extra 6 weeks, which is now this August 29th day. Basically, is it probably going to go through in the United States, assuming that the appeal from the FTC doesn't really go anywhere? Maybe. And also the CMA now actually has, I feel like, some more pressure given Judge Corley's verdict here in the United States. So this is a big momentum shift for Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, as we saw Activision Blizzard stock jump around 9% since this announcement. Either way, will this deal actually go through? It seems like it's got some legs now. I'll stay focused on this one. Sony are going to invest $2 billion into XR research. The Sony has announced that it intends to put this amount of capital into the extended reality research by the end of March 2024, which is a very short timeline, mind you. This will account for 40% of the company's R&D budget, which passes their spending on electronics and semiconductors. And evidently, Sony's history in gaming with PlayStation is focused around longer story-based games, so this is seemingly a push to diversify their portfolio and offerings in the longer run, as they are pushing more into live service games for higher ARPU as well. Given Apple's push for their Vision Pro headset, it makes sense that Sony would want to ensure that they're somewhat involved in this as well. And what's interesting here is that Sony's latest hardware in this space will, I'm actually curious what it will be and what the demographic they're trying to target is. Apple Vision Pro's headset is a pro headset, not meant for everyday consumers. So is Sony going to do something similar with a pro and a consumer headset? Either way, or will they do something completely different? Will they not make a headset at all, and maybe it's some other different types of technology? Either way, I'm curious to see how they integrate this into their gaming strategy. Sentinels are looking to raise $1.2 million via an equity crowdfunding round. Sentinels announced they're looking to sell up to 4% of the company in partnership with the equity fundraising startup Start Engine, and fans can buy in on an investor website, but they can't see details like how much others have bought in, capital raised by Sentinels, or compare alternative rounds. Sentinels have valued themselves at around $30.1 million and are requiring a minimum $300 investment from anyone who does want to invest. There are tiers of investments as well, such as the $50,000 tier, which gives investors benefits such as a tour of the Sentinels HQ, virtual stakeholder meeting access, live match attendance, interacting with Sentinel players, signed jerseys, and more. And from what the website says, Sentinels is looking for around a $15,000 minimum investment, which they've actually hit as of Friday, but only, barely, with a little less than $20,000 and only around 25 investors. I'm curious what types of folks will actually invest here, since these are not small amounts of money, but then again, if fans already spend hundreds of dollars on merch, it might be something worth it for them to actually invest. Also, that being said, Sentinels is only selling 4% of their company, so there's no feasible way any investor is actually going to be able to have a say in what the company does here. On their website, the purpose of the funding is very vague, with simply they stated that they're going to use the fund operations to expand into new business lines. We've seen this quite a bit in the past with Juke, Fnatic, Hitmarket as well, having launched crowdfunding rounds in the past. Not sure how truly worth it is for the investors, but either way, could be a nice way for the actual company of Sentinels here to get some quick cash for liquidity purposes. As far as partnerships go, PepsiCo partnered with Electronic Arts. 3 of PepsiCo's flagship brands, Pepsi, Gatorade, and Lay's, will be partners of the upcoming EA Sports FC title. They will work on collaborations with Pepsi football ambassadors such as Vinny Jr. and Leia Williamson, and they will also have in-game integrations, on-pack promotions, in-game rewards, and more. G2 Esports partnered with Ralph Lauren. The 2 groups jointly launched a co-branded apparel collection that will debuted when G2 competed in the LEC Summer Playoffs yesterday. This collection consists of t-shirts, polos, hoodies, tracksuits, and caps that will feature the new G2 Ralph Lauren crest that fans can also purchase. Scopely have partnered with Mr. Beast, also known as Jimmy Donaldson. That's right, Mr. Beast will be inside the actual mobile game of Stumble Guys, and he'll have specific characters, levels, emotes, and animations that will be slated to fully launch later in the summer. Smart move by Mr. Beast, given he did something similar with Mediatonic's Fall Guys in the past as well. TWIEG Gaming have partnered with AT&T. The multi-year partnership will see AT&T branding featured across TWIEG Gaming's jerseys as well as their social media creators' channels. They will also have exclusive content, but really what would be cool to see, in my opinion, is if they could test AT&T's networks while doing some mobile gaming. Gamers8 partnered with Adidas and Abdul-Latif Jamil. Adidas and Gamers8 will have a co-branded line of merch that will be available during the event, with Adidas Maker Lab initiative also being promoted, and the Abdul-Latif Jamil Motors partnership will highlight the GR Mina Cup sim racing competition as well as the GR GT Cup organized by Toyota. Crunchyroll partnered with EVO. EVO is taking place in Nevada this August with various FGC competitions that have a minimum of $25,000 prize pools taking place. Crunchyroll will have customized experiences for attendees such as DJ performances, games, and special guest appearances alongside the recently launched mobile game Street Fighter Duel. Tundra Esports have partnered with Streamkoi. Tundra Esports will use Streamkoi's technology to automate various existing processes with streamer campaigns, such as launching and reporting on those campaigns. Given Tundra Esports won TI 2022, it seems like this might be useful sponsorship in the future. Nine partnered with Shikenso Analytics. Nine will utilize Shikenso's AI tracking and monitoring tool for better insights into their other partnerships and activations. And Nine joined Team Vitality, Alpine Esports, Valve, and other companies that have worked with Shikenso Analytics now. As far as finance and M&A goes, Gardens have raised a $31 million Series A. This is quite a sizable round and quite a sizable Series A, so congrats to the Gardens team. This round is led by Lightspeed Venture Partners and Crafton, with the studio being founded by Stephen Bell, Chris Bell, and Lexi Dostal in 2020. They'll use this to develop its first title inspired by MMOs and to expand their team. Gamercraft have raised $5 million. The company plans to expand its product capabilities to cover new games and genres on their AI game tournament platform. The co-founders of Alienware led the round, which saw participation also from LaFons, Mistral Ventures, Quantic Fund, Stellaria Capital, and others. Bring It On raised a $4 million seed round. The Israeli dev saw its round led by AC's Investments with participation from My Games Venture Capital, Kona Venture Partners, Lalote Ventures, and Overwolf, among others. They'll use this funding to continue developing their title Road Trip Bingo, which has over 150,000 players since its launch in September of 2022. Lightspeed Studios have acquired the UK dev Lucid Games. Lucid Games will continue to operate independently in games they create and will have support from Lightspeed Studios' global resources. For reference, Lucid Games have worked on Destruction All-Stars, Sea of Thieves, Apex Legends, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor. As far as workforce changes go, Christine Brownell joins PlayStation London Studio as the game director. Christine has lots of game-making experience in the past as she spent time with Media Molecule, Scopely, EA, and Blizzard as well before joining PlayStation. She'll focus on an unnamed project from this studio. She holds a bachelor's in art and graphic design from CSU Long Beach. Chris Spearing joins Companion Group as the Chief Partnerships Officer. Chris is most recently with Sony Digital Audio Disc Corporation, leading the gaming, music, and home entertainment business from 2017 to 2022. He also spent time at companies like Microsoft, Logitech, PDP, and Thunk in executive roles, and he holds a bachelor's degree in business from Uxbridge. Sophie McEvoy joins Games Industry Biz as a staff writer. Sophie has quite the extensive games journalism experience as she worked for nearly 5 years doing freelance writing for Bustle UK and is doing freelance writing for Games Rant as well. She holds a bachelor's in film studies from the University of Southampton. Congrats, Sophie. Paul Ogden has been promoted to Director of Marketing at Optic Gaming. He's a buddy of mine, so congrats to you, Paul. And he's been with Optic for about 2.5 years now and is promoted from his position as Marketing Operations and Strategy Manager. Previously, he was the Esports Gaming Program Manager at Topgolf as well, and he holds a Bachelor's in Business from Texas A&M University. Christina Wooten has been promoted to Chief Partnerships Officer at Roblox. She's been with Roblox for over 9 years now and was most recently VP of Global Partnerships. She has a good amount of sales experience as well before that with Glorious Games Group and with Business.com as well in the past. She holds a bachelor's from CSU Long Beach. As far as new stuff goes, 8-Bit Creatives or Seoul have announced their 2-day gaming festival. The event, called Seoul Gaming Fest, will take place in Bangalore on July 29th and 30th and will feature esports tournaments and also other general gaming activations as well related to content creation, cosplay, and more. Riot Games and Tencent have finally launched Valorant in China. It took 3 years, but Valorant is finally in China with the help of Tencent managing the distribution and receiving approval from China's NPPA in December of 2022. I'll be curious to see the player numbers once more data is readily available. 100 Thieves have launched their new game mode in Fortnite. The new game mode is called Bank Heist and will be available for all Fortnite players and will consist of an attack defense gameplay style of Bank Heist and defense. It was made through Unreal Editor for Fortnite, showing once again another play from Epic Games on their ecosystem expansion. EA have unveiled their new studio Cliffhanger Games. The studio is based out of Washington and will be creating an original third-person single-player game based off of Marvel's Black Panther franchise. The studio will be led by Kevin Stevens, who is the former studio head of Monolith Productions. That's it for this week in esports and gaming. Thank you so much for tuning in. Credit to the authors and brands themselves for the images and information provided. Once again, shout out to James Fudge and the Esports Advocate for all they do. Check out their link down below if you want to support them. If you want to support me, either tag someone you know who'd find this valuable or share this with your network. And as always, everybody, have a great day.